Drama, drama, drama. A day doesn't go by in this world where life doesn't take a bite out of someone. It's hard. Situations happen that are out of our control, and that just doesn't seem fair. Why is it that some people have great lives with little struggle and others struggle all the time? The boys from Sanctus Real have some answers to that question and a whole lot more. So stick around. You've got a backstage pass. Welcome to Backstage Pass. I'm Clinton Foppel. Ask most teens today about life and you'll find that most don't think it's fair. Many look at their world as the worst, overwhelmed with daily struggle and an uphill climb to happiness. They want to know, why am I in this struggle?
Yeah, I think most people who come to our shows, whether they're young or old, all seem to identify with our songs that are more of I guess, out of the heart of a lament or a feeling of brokenness, in our life. We have a song called "I'm Not Alright" that we get stories about all the time. How people just really have used that song as an anthem in their life. Because we know that when we go through struggles, we can either kind of pull ourselves into seclusion, separate ourselves from the world, and try to deal with it on our own, or we can let it really be an opportunity to draw people close to us, and share what we're going through. And most importantly, our hope and prayer is that people's struggles and their life, the hard things that they go through, the real life stuff, would really draw them closer to God, their Creator, to find out, in the middle of all this, why am I here?
It's easy, isn't it, to forget to ask, why am I here in the middle of this circumstance? Why is this happening to me? Well, I guess we ask that a lot, but do we mean it? Do I want to know why God has allowed me to go through this experience? Most likely not. But what if every time I went through hardship, or any experience for that matter, I asked God, why? What do you want to teach me? What are you preparing me for? Changing our perspective may be the best way to deal with the struggles that come in life, and you know that they're going to keep coming. Stick around. More from Sanctus Real right after this. Welcome back to Backstage Pass. Now, before the break, I suggested that we stop and ask God why He allowed the struggle that we find ourselves in. Now, if you're a religious person, and by that I mean someone who follows religious rules, then struggle will never make sense. But if you see God as someone you're in relationship with, then you have the world at your fingertips.
Yeah, there's always been that struggle between the idea of religion and the idea of relationship. That I think people who know Christ have been reaching out, saying, man, this is a relationship. Everybody's heard that. It's not religion, it's a relationship. But it's true. It's true that religion really is all about what we can do to get to God. But relationship with Jesus Christ is all about what God did to get to us. And that's what makes Christianity set apart from every other religion. That it's not that we have to do this and do that to get to God. Initially, He reaches out and He says, I love you so much. I sent my only Son, Jesus Christ, to die on a cross, rise again, so that you could have real life, and not just life on this earth, but life forever in heaven with Him. And, what a gift, and then when we enter into that relationship, you never want to please somebody. You don't really care about what somebody thinks until you get to know them. And that's the idea. It's like, man, if we get to know Jesus and we get to know God, then we want to do the things that please Him. because we know him, we know how much he loves us. And that's when rules or religious, laws, that how we see them, really turn into like, man, God created me, had a purpose for me, and he told me how to live my life for my benefit and for my good, and I want to do the things that please him, and that's where we start really understanding what the Bible's all about and what this all means, and see it in a whole different light. And so that's my prayer for everybody who would watch this, that they would understand that just how much our Father in heaven really does love us as his kids.
When we see God as a dictator or a referee, we're starting out with our struggles right behind the 8 ball. If you think that God doesn't like you or wants to see you suffer, then your mind is going to imprison you to live a defeated life. Reality is that nothing could be further from the truth. Your God has a plan for you and wants you to make a difference.
I think as a band, you struggle, and we've been doing this for a number of years now, so you kind of struggle with remaining valid, or are we really making a difference, And I could see like a student feeling that way too, wherever they're at in life, whether it's at their school or in their church. Like, am I really making a difference by being here? And you might think just because we're a band and we have songs that you've heard or whatever, that we always feel like, yeah, this is who we are. This is definitely what we're supposed to be doing. But we have the same questions too, And playing at a festival, you come in, there's tons of bands and there's tons of music going on, and you just hope that what you're doing reaches out and ministers to people. But there's things along the way that'll cause you to doubt that. But for us, I think it's just remaining true to our calling, and we know individually that we're called to do this as a ministry, and if we know that and we seek God on that, then we can go out in confidence that we are supposed to be here and we are making a difference. And no matter how tough, on a day-to-day basis it might get, being on the road, being away from family, there's always those things along the way that if you seek God first, it'll be proven to you that this is where you're supposed to be. So, I mean, whether you're in a band, whether you're trying to figure out what to do for school, whatever, I mean, you're going to have questions, everybody has questions. Am I supposed to be here? Am I supposed to do this? And, man, like for us as a band, just being open with each other and, asking those hard questions of ourselves, I mean, that helps us, define what God has for us as a group and as individuals.
Yeah, I think everybody, everybody's insecure. That's the thing. Like, we're all insecure. It doesn't matter if you're on a platform or if you're just like, just whatever you do. It's like everybody's second guessing themselves all the time. And, we can muster up the confidence to do certain things, but at the heart of it all, we just want to fit in and we want to feel like people love us, and that's, we've gotten a huge response from this one line in our song Forgiven in the bridge, and it says, when I don't fit in and I don't feel like I belong anywhere, when I don't measure up to much in this life, I'm a treasure in the arms of Christ. And that, I think that says it all,
You are. You are worth more than you could ever hope or imagine. Your value is not based on what you do amidst your struggle, but who you are as you go through it. God loves you because you are. Know that tonight. And if we can help you right now, why don't you join us at chatlistenlove.com and tell us how we can pray for you. Our soul medics are standing by. We'll be right back. Now, it's not healthy to tell everyone everything about yourself, but I do believe that part of struggle needs to be telling others about the fight. But rather than go negative and focus on self-pity, what would it be like to share how hard it is, but be transparent about how good it is too?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you can't share every little detail of your entire life necessarily with everyone, or you could, I guess, and see how they twist it, right? But I think we're as transparent as we could possibly be as a band, about our relationships with each other, our relationship with our wives and our kids. And life's a struggle, man. Like in relationships especially, you hit a lot of roadblocks, and relationships aren't easy. And I would say, though, in my short life, that I've realized that when you do the work to really get through the hard times in relationships, that it's so worth it in the end, you know, that it's really like that new season of friendship or marriage or wherever you're at in life, you know, that those struggles are the kind of, I think relational struggles really are the thing. And we talk about people wanting to be fit in or they're insecure. All that has to do with the relationship. And that's where everything is wrapped up in this life. You know, we're all at social networking. It's all relationship. So that's the area that we really reach out to people in, is like, what have we been through? You know, songs like We Need Each Other. It's like realizing that we're withdrawing from one another and we're not sharing our lives with each other. And that's just so important, you know, I think, to communicate. And part of that communication for us is not just communicating with each other, the other people who are important in our lives, it's communicating with the people who are listening to our music. Like, this is our real life.
You'll find that struggle is a common battlefield. By sharing with others what you're going through, we share our lives with each other. We'll be right back with more from Sanctus Real right after this. Welcome back to the show. So we've talked about leaning into our faith during struggle, about focusing on relationship rather than religion. Now it's time to live with intentionality.
Man, I think it is so important to live our lives intentionally. You know, it's like, yeah, we're not just experiments or the result of a big bang. Man, I don't believe that. And I just look at my hand and I'm like, okay, this is way too cool. There's no way that somebody didn't design this, you know what I'm saying? And if you really think that somebody didn't design this, then I'm not relating to you at all, you know? We have a purpose, and, you know, behind all this design that God made our bodies and our souls and our spirits and connecting people, you know, relationships to each other and Him, I mean, all that is part of a bigger plan. And I would just say that it's important for us to know what we want out of life. You know, do we want to waste our life, or do we want to make it count for something? It's never too early or never too late to decide that. You know, you've got until you're gone, you know, because we don't know if we'll have tomorrow. So no matter who you are, you know, out there, I would say, figure out what you want out of life, you know, and go for it. And I hope that what you want out of life is to know your purpose and know your Creator. And that's when you're going to get the most out of life. You know, you don't worry about yesterday. God's forgiven, you know, all of what we've done when we accept Him, and you're not promised tomorrow. So every single day you're like, what can I do today to live out the purpose that God has called me to live out right here, right now, like it's my last.
Like it's the last day of your life. Thanks to Sanctus Real for being real and for calling us to rise above the struggle and to set our eyes on the freedom and joy that Jesus gives us amidst those hard times. My thanks to you for watching this Backstage Pass. Why not visit us right now at www.remedy.fm and let us know how tonight's show impacted you. We chat, we listen, and we love. Friend, you've just had a Backstage Pass.